Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Change Starts Here. Tonight, we're going to talk about the Earth is rising. Are you? 17 signs you're aligning with the new Earth. I've got a great group here with me tonight, and number one is Jordan Cameron, Jordan Holden, Nicole, and Harriet. So, we're all going to be here to guide you to the 17 signs, talk about what those signs mean and our personal experiences. And the first sign is you are starting to trust your intuition more now than ever. So, with that being said, does anyone feel like their intuition has raised to a new level?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Great. Tell us about it.
Well, just to take a moment, it's not even a question anymore. I don't even to me, as I was saying before, my ability to bring things in my well, to manifest, as you know, has risen so much. I don't even have to think about it anymore. It's not even a worry. It just, it's I think it's in it. I just allow it to appear. We've all heard the explanation a bunch of times. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm not really sure. I just don't even worry about it anymore. And that's something that's really over beginning of last or the middle of last year has really, until now has been great. Absolutely.
That's awesome. What about you, Nicole? Do you think that your intuition has increased compared to 1 year ago?
Absolutely. I've learned to kind of just trust that feeling in my gut and to just listen to it. And, kind of the difference between even anxiety in my chest. I've always been a very anxious person and, you know, deciphering whether that's intuition or what am I trying to be told?
I totally get that because what's actually happening is as the collective consciousness rises, the external noise begins to lose authority over your life and over your inner knowing. Um, Harriet, does that align with you at all? Does that make sense to you?
Yes, everything that everybody has said absolutely makes sense to me. Yes, my intuition has increased more, definitely. And just over the years, I think it increased more. And I think it's just because I'm more attuned to me. I trust me, I trust my inner thoughts, you know, more so than others. Um, I know me best. So,
Right, exactly. What about you, Holden?
Intuition. Yes.
Intuition.
Yeah, for me it's just listening to it and actually letting it guide me instead of fighting it. I say that's been my biggest thing, fighting back from it. So it's a learning experience for me.
Most definitely. And I think a lot of people do exactly what you do, Holden. It's like your intuition is telling you loud and clear exactly what to do or not to do. And yet you still resist in that human form, wanting to fight against it. And maybe I'm right. And maybe I'm just a little bit crazy. I'm not hearing what I think I'm hearing. But you know what? It just makes that road so much longer, right? When
Hmm.
you can listen to that intuition, it shortens the distance of that particular journey by half, at least by half. And then
Oh
the
yeah.
outcome, the outcome after you listen is much, much better than all of that trying to get out and away from what you're worried that you're hearing. Because sometimes it's hard to let things go, or you just think it'd be more fun to do this or more fun to do that, or I'm just living life. Why should I listen to my intuition? Well, guys,
Hmm.
it's more important to listen to your intuition now more than ever because the earth is rising.
Feel that the sources of that. I really want to expand on that. What do you think the source is for these messages?
Well, I
I have a point. Just want to hear it from you.
What do you think it is, Jordan?
Well, I'm reading this book, and I'm sure you've all heard of it, Conversations with God.
One of my favorite books.
It's one of my favorite books too. I love the whole series. Now, following your intuition, and as you said, you're looking out for these messages. Or you ignore them and everything like that, right? Well, in this book, it specifically says that you could ignore them, you can follow them, you can kind of follow them. You can you'll constantly get the message. Just, are you ready to receive it? Are you listening to receive it? Are you open to receiving it? I don't think that the messages ever stop. I just think that it's you that have to be ready to hear them or allow yourself to hear them. I don't necessarily think that the messages will stop, even if you ignore them, because wherever the source is that these messages come from, it doesn't get tired of talking to you. It doesn't get tired of sending messages to you. I don't think so anyway.
I agree with you. I think that what I'm saying is that if you don't practice the muscle of intuition, how about I put it like this? If you don't practice the muscle of intuition, that muscle atrophies, and then any nth of knowing that you had before kind of gets less because you get away from that alignment. Once you start listening again, that alignment starts opening up again, and you can hear more clearly.
I agree.
See, I think intuition and messages are two separate things. I think messages are going to come whether you listen or not. I think your intuition is going to be there whether you recognize it or not. I just think they are definitely two different things, and they are there. A lot of people say, my gut was just saying, don't go down this way. Just don't do it. And the next thing you know, you were in the store and something fell off the shelf right there where you were, could have knocked you out. So, and messages, there could be from people, and you can hear a message that's delivered by your earth angel or whoever it is that's delivering the message. Aries, whoever it is that's delivering the message to you.
What about like a little cricket named Jiminy?
You can listen to Jiminy.
Yeah,
Jiminy might have a good message for you.
Yeah. I don't know.
So,
Yeah.
I just think is whether or not you really pay attention to whether it's your intuition or a message.
Absolutely.
Well, I would challenge everyone out there to start paying attention to your intuition, see if it is expanding for you, and see if you can work on expanding it. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to personal message me and I will answer those questions for you. Number 2, your circles become smaller, even if you don't fully understand why.
Yeah.
Does anyone have something that they can share where maybe their circles are becoming smaller?
Well, for me personally, that's been kind of an ongoing thing for a good amount of years now. When I was younger, it was so easy. I felt like for a while to, everyone's a friend, I hang out with everyone, it's all good, whatever. But now I noticed that I'm much more aware or conscious of who I allowed into my life and who are, for a while, a long time, or this or that, it's still an ongoing thing for me.
What about you, Nicole?
I was kind of thinking about that earlier today. It's basically exactly a year ago when I kind of had a health scare, a pretty significant health scare, and it's basically required me to have basically 6 months of kind of recovering from that, as well as just being by myself a lot. And wow, did I find out who was in my tribe and who wasn't. And some of those people that I thought weren't didn't surprise me, but some really did. I was really shocked. And so then, I just kind of decided that I just need people that are going to align with me in my life and in my values. And it just kind of naturally takes care of itself if you really, really want to have quality relationships in your life.
Right. Anyone else have something to say about this?
Yes, we were talking about this before, and we were saying how internally you're refining, so externally you're going to refine also. And so that's how things have been going with me. And that also means that people will drop off. And that's okay. I was glad they were there for whatever part of the journey that they were supposed to be there in my life. And then now, if we part ways, I wish everybody the best, but I have to make sure I stay the course. So, yes. And I'm excited about the journey, with whoever else, like you said, Nicole, is a part of my tribe. I'm ready.
Exactly.
What do you have to say about that, Holden?
What do I have to say for real?
Yes, for real.
As you grow, people come in and out of your life for seasons. Not everyone's always going to be there for the long term.
Yes.
And when it's time for them to go, hey, had fun. It was nice. But, I understand it's time for change.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because as you evolve, your energetic compatibility becomes more important than your history with that person or the comfort. And a lot of times, as we grow as individuals, you just come out of alignment with your thought processes, even, or how you live, or how you execute your decisions, and anything in that capacity. And you don't need to hold on to people who don't get you. And when I say you don't need to hold on to them, that means a lot of people desperately make concessions in their lives to try to accommodate other people.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, I've lost a lot of friends along the way.
Right.
People you thought you were going to be in your life forever, but it was just a season, it turned out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so that process, I think, is becoming more accelerated now that we're moving into a different vibrational level, because there are going to be people who are tethered to the earth, this old earth, and there are going to be people who are consciously moving to new earth. So first of all, you have to decide where do you want to be as a person? And secondly, are you willing to give up those old habits, those old friends, those old relationships that are not aligning with new earth with you to move forward and evolve?
I mean, sometimes it's just time. Not everyone has to come.
I
Sure.
agree.
Sure.
Well, not every book is a certain length. Not every book has the same amount of chapters. It's that's how life is, and our friends and our family, and yeah,
And you need that next chapter to get to the end of the book.
exactly.
Sometimes you need that next chapter to get through a horror chapter.
And the really long chapters
Yeah, really long.
when it's just all happy and love.
It looks like you're about to say something, Jordan. What do you have to share?
Oh, well, you know what? I think I think it would be better said in on another subject. So I'm going to wait on that one.
Okay. Next subject. You feel compelled to simplify and declutter your life. I'm so into that point right now. Anybody else with me?
Yes.
Say again.
Say that again.
You are compelled to simplify and declutter your life. That is number 3.
I sold my house today. That's how much I want to declutter.
Why?
Damn.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Nice.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All the way in North Dakota,
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Damn.
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
With the accent and
It's
everything.
cold up there. Damn. Yeah.
It was actually going to be 50 today.
Mm.
Oh, 50. That's nice. That's the windows down.
Maybe not in the car, but
Going to be. So did it make it there?
That's like the bare minimum where Laura will keep her nose out of the doorway.
oh yeah.
So how are any of you decluttering and simplifying? I mean, selling a house, that could be simplifying, but you know, it brings other things too.
It's like clear clutter for clarity, you know, just decompress, allow better things to come. Exactly. And I know we're not just talking about stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man. I don't know. I just, lately I've just been feeling a lot more, I just got this kind of, I don't know what to call it, aching, a thirst, or I just have a need to experience just new things, a whole bunch of things. I want to read more books. I want to try different things outside. I want to hike, kayak, do this, that, the other thing. I'm trying to like let go more of the of the past and let go of old insecurities, old fears is a better word, and just embrace a lot more in the future, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So talk about clear clutter for clarity. Yeah,
You're kind of shedding, just like last year was the year of the snake, and so that's a shedding, and
Absolutely.
now we're in the renewal and a new. So that makes sense.
There you go.
I have a very large closet that has a whole bunch of clothes and shoes and anything you can imagine in it. But I have truly got I'm a big Goodwill person. I give a lot of stuff to Goodwill. I try to do it every 6 months, but lately I just feel like it's almost like, well, Nicole right now is packing to move. She's getting her boxes. She's putting things in. She's looking forward to the next chapter of her life for a reason. She's got to move now. The house is sold and now she has to move forward with life. I am not, to my knowledge, I am not moving, but I almost have that same feeling of decluttering, putting stuff in bags, giving it to Goodwill. It's clothes, it's shoes, it's things, it's all kinds of books. I gave books to my son a couple times, just a few weeks ago. It's like a lot of things that mean something to me or are important to me. I don't want to get rid of them, but I want to pass them to someone that I think will benefit from them. And then the things that I give to Goodwill, I'm letting them go because I think they will benefit from that type of stuff as well. So as all the old stuff goes out, I'm just feeling like I am literally stepping in to something new. And I don't even know what that new is, but it feels good.
I'm the same way. I don't know what the new is, but I know I'm stepping into it and I'm excited for whatever that new is. And I'm doing the same thing that you're doing, Laura. I've been cleaning like crazy, throwing away. And if people know me, like whenever I move, Nicole, half of the stuff I just don't take with me because what I've noticed is that I didn't use it. So I don't just need to have stuff, just
Exactly.
declutter my life, declutter my thoughts, and all of those type of things. So yes, I'm there
I
for
read I read something today actually where they said if like kind of envision this time in our life that we're experiencing right now as adding new fresh water to a vase of flowers. And but you have to pour out the dirty old icky water before you can put the clean water in. And it's like, okay, there we go.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
I
that.
thought that resonated a lot. So
I like that. I like
mhm.
that. And as we clean out our internal world, it all gets organized into a space for your new environment that is growing, which is just really important right now because once again, we're talking about rising to new earth. You need to be lighter, you need to be more open, and you don't need all of the excess chaos around us or the vibration that happens when we don't declutter. Okay, any other thing with that one? No, we're good. Okay, number 4. You feel a deeper connection to nature and earth. And I really think that this is what Jordan was talking about, wanting to get out in nature, wanting to really experience all the beautiful things out there. So, Jordan, you want to lead off with that one?
I'm sorry. Lead off with the last thing I said.
Well, you were talking about decluttering, but you're talking about nature and wanting to get back out into the earth and things like that. Number 4 is that you feel a deeper connection to nature and the earth. And I was saying, really, that aligns with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, I mean, you get up in the morning and you walk outside to get in your car, but then you open the door first and you take that first deep breath of fresh air. It's so much more to me now than it used to be. And I wake up on the weekends, the first thing I hear is birds outside my window. It means so much more than it did when I was a kid or in my teens, my 20s. It's just, I work at a warehouse, and just nothing but concrete and steel all day, and I want so much to be out in the woods. I want to hear that stream, the creek in the back of my house so bad. I want to get out and take pictures more. I want to get out and, I just want to be, I would die a happy man if one day me and my wife could just live in a nice cabin in the woodsy area with a place for me to go fishing every weekend. I don't need anything more than that. I mean, as long in that and a guitar, I'd be a happy man. So that's very much a need for me right now. I want to get out and I fish a lot. That's one thing I used to do a lot when I was a teenager, but now I really picked it back up. And I just want to get out more and just be in nature. I just absolutely, that means a whole lot to me right now.
Well, as your awareness expands and separation dissolves, you begin to feel that the earth is not a resource, but it's a living system that you're a part of. And I know that if I'm feeling down or just overwhelmed, a walk in nature totally changes my outlook, lifts my vibration, just makes me feel energetic and happy. And I think it just gives me the opportunity to align with source. That's really important to me.
Yeah, so for me, I have a couple of things. One, Jordan, what you said, if you died, you'll be a happy man. I guess if you're out in nature. I just finished watching this series called Mr. Plankton. And it was about this young guy, and he had all these different tumors in his head, and he knew he was going to die. But
Wow.
The way that he wanted to die was outside looking up at the sky. And literally that's what ended up happening. He didn't really know it was going to happen that way, but I guess he spoke it into existence because that's how happy he was to be out in nature.
Absolutely.
It's a great movie. Guys should check it out. But
Nice.
also, Laura, I sent you this little video of the little girl. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it. And she was talking about nature. She was saying how we are the flowers, how we are the plants, and how we are connected, and how we can feel the roots. I was just so amazed. I think she's 7 years old.
Wow.
Yes, and so if you haven't had a chance to check it out, I see a lot of her things popping up on YouTube and Instagrams. A lot of her little segments, and it's amazing because I'm sure her mother's amazed that this is coming
Right.
out of her kids.
Right.
About
Exactly.
at
Like, look what my
7.
kid is saying.
Yes. And so for her saying that, because there have been so many astrological alignments, all I've been doing is running outside, looking at this,
Oh,
running
yeah.
outside, wanting to do that, right out, so it's just been on 5,000, this last month. So I am just definitely connected with her.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, with you saying that, the lunar, I'm forgetting my words. What did we just go through? Lunar
Eclipse.
eclipse.
Mhm.
That's the word I was missing.
The blood moon.
Yes.
Yep.
I was actually in Tybee Island, Georgia, which was, I thought was going to be a great experience to see the lunar eclipse. However, I got out there, I was standing at the ocean's edge, I was just ready, and it was cloudy.
That'll do it.
However, I still stood there. And the ocean was crazy, you guys. The pull of the moon and the ocean, and the waves were just crazy. And the
Wow.
night before, we had went out and there were surfers out there, and they were talking about how this was a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I'd never seen Tybee like that. The waves were just extremely large.
Wow.
But the next morning I stood there and I literally just took the time to align with source. I showed my gratitude. I spoke out loud. I had moments of silence. We were there for a good 30 minutes. And I tell you what, and even actually during that time, I had a little bit of anxiety in my chest. I mean, it was just weird.
Mhm.
But I just continued to connect. The waves were coming in, and I was just getting all of this, outside energy in. And then I went ahead and went back to the hotel, and I just got the most deep feeling, this deep sense of peace, alignment, clarity, calmness. My husband was watching about the war in Iraq. It did not affect me at all. In the past, I would have felt anxiety. I wouldn't want to really listen to it. It was like I was so disconnected to the chaos.
Wow.
It didn't matter. And I was like that for the next 2 days. I had some things that came up for me that really should have made me worry. But I was okay. I wasn't worried. I knew everything was going to work out for me. I knew that my alignment was more important than the chaos. And to this day, I feel different. I feel good. I mean, I always feel good, but it's a different kind of good. It's that levitating above your body just before you wake up good. So that was just my experience with nature and water and the moon. Even though I could not see it, I completely got the feeling of it and the energy of it, and it was priceless.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay, number 5, you crave truth and clarity, personally and collectively. Is anybody tired of the BS?
I think the whole I mean, everyone, literally everyone, all the United States, maybe even all the world is just over the BS. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you see it every day on YouTube. You see it every day on Facebook. You know what? We're not, we're just not taking it anymore. Some people are completely tuned into that. Some people are, just ignore it. That's not even real. That's what that is. And I know what I know. I'm going to live my life, the way I want, it's whatever. That's kind of where I am. I'm not bothered usually by the everyday, the news or the, whatever the case may be. You said you weren't really thinking about the war and right going on right now. And I wish I don't really study up on that stuff to know anyway, but it's never in the forefront of my mind, I mean, and I don't like that it happens, I ain't like any bad thing that happens in the world, but it's not something that I choose to focus on, so yeah, I think everybody is just ready for ready for more truth, ready for transparency is guess what I'm trying to say. Absolutely.
I think Holden is really over stuff. I really see that a lot in conversations and reactions. Holden, tell us how you feel about that type of thing. You're just tired, I know.
Stuff I'm over.
Yes, I notice you're less tolerant of things, people coming to you for stuff, things that are going on around you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just like, for me, it's been a real energy sucker. And right now, I just know I need the energy for my own self and what I got going on. So, yeah, I've been cutting back from a lot of people. Not gonna lie. It's not negative. Not that people are bad. I'm just tired of doing extra stuff that really in my mind I know I don't want to do, but I may do anyway. Just tired of all that.
Yeah.
Mm.
I feel you. And I know a lot of people are going through that hard moment. And I think Nicole is too, is choosing other people or choosing yourself. Choosing other people for what they need from you and choosing your peace, your own happiness, your own life expansion.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all over it, yes.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm
Everyone.
good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, stuff is going to happen. People are going to tug at you, pull at you because you are the doer. You're the person that gets things done. You're the fixer. All of us on here probably
Mm-hmm.
that particular type of person, to our friends and our family members.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're just gonna, come to you. Now, whether or not you say no is the game changer.
Yeah, it's just like on my days I need rest though. I'm still getting calls to do things and I need a rest for my own sanity.
Yes.
So I'm taking that for myself. I can't do everything all the time for everybody. You end up burnt out.
Absolutely.
Correct. That is correct. And not for yourself, for others. And it's okay to help others. It's okay to assist people. But when it gets to that point where you know you need to rest, that's when you say, not today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not today.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the illusions become harder to tolerate. And that's part of aligning with the new vibrations. You may find yourself questioning narratives, systems, personal patterns, or other unexamined things. But this isn't rebellion for rebellion's sake. This is simply learning to love yourself unconditionally. And when you start loving yourself unconditionally, it does rock the boat because people are always expecting you to love them before yourself.
Yeah.
But when you love others before yourself, you run out of stuff to give to them. and then they wonder why you are so snappy or so edgy or so irritated. It's because no one's poured into you. You're always pouring out to other people, and you're empty.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they're running on empty. Yeah.
It's kind of funny you said that because I had a friend. She always sort of confided in me, but for a long time, she was kind of like a candle burning on both ends. She's just giving away all her energy and attention to everyone else all the time. And I know we've been covering this whole time, but it was just, I just kept telling her, look, I mean, when you're at 1%, you can't be trying to give away 50%, 100%, everything like that.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, but that's what I do. That's what, it's like you physically, mentally, you can't do it. You got to let yourself off the hook here. Give yourself some credit. You've been going this long and you haven't just keeled right over, So just take a minute, regroup, relax, and do something for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And if you do that, if you find yourself at 100%, if you work on yourself to 100%, I mean, just imagine what you can do for your friends and family then.
Yes.
After you've done, I hate to say this, done the work, but after you've really, found what you're supposed to do, who you're supposed to be, got some rest, gain a little bit more wisdom, there's no telling how much you can do for other people. Let's focus on that for a minute.
Mhm.
I'm glad to say she did finally get that hint. She did finally get to a place where she could start living again and think of herself. And now she can do all kinds of things for her family, her kids, her new significant other, everything like that. So yeah.
I think it's
You're an awesome friend, Jordan. That's awesome. Well, but for real, most people, a lot of times friends won't, get that real. And I mean,
Yeah.
that was incredibly helpful and really awesome of you to tell her that.
Yeah. I mean, these people, for a long time, and whatever help I could give, I'm glad I could, as we all would have liked to have done that, and would do that. Absolutely.
right.
That goes back to our messages. So from our conversation earlier. So she received your message.
Mine, and I'm sure a whole lot of others,
Yeah.
Oh yes, but that was good.
I think too that I was just listening to someone the other day talking about the difference between living your life and reacting to life. And most people go through life reacting to life, and they're not living their life. They're not living those moments. They're not doing what they feel intuitively that they should do, or I've always wanted to do this, that, or the other thing. But they don't do it because they see all of the there's a war in Iraq, so I better not leave the country. There's a dog outside my house, so I better not take a walk. They live in a reaction to stimulus around them instead of saying, hey, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this. I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy a new boat. And then I'm going to decide who can get on my boat. And then I'm going to have the best and most great time on that boat while I'm living my dreams. So I'm just saying, I hope for all 6 of us here right now that we really look at ourselves, because people don't know themselves because they're used to knowing themselves through other people. I'm a good person because I help that person, or I go to work because it helps my boss make more money. All of those things. Get to know really who you are. You're not a name. You're not an address. You're not a birth date. You are a soul in a body. Get to know yourself so then you can actually start living your life in a way that truly pleases you, because people do things, they think they know themselves, they think they're happy, but in reality, are you? And would you be doing those things if it weren't for someone else encouraging you to do it?
The main thing, Laura, that you were just saying, I think, is that people don't really know who they are anyway. You know, Because if you ask people, tell me a little bit about yourself, the first thing they do is tell you what they do for work.
Right. Right.
And I'm like, no, tell me about you.
Right. Right. What do you like? What do you really like?
Yeah. Who are you?
Right. And what makes you tick?
Yes.
What really makes you? Because if somebody asks me about spirituality and religion, I'm like, I don't think you want to ask me that because you're not going to have the time to listen.
Right.
Right? If you ask me about what I do for work, which is not who I am, I'm going to keep it real short and sweet. I don't do anything.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, so many people get caught up in titles and it trips them up every time, all the way through life.
Right. Hey, Kenny, how are you?
Good, good. How are you guys?
We're
Good,
doing
Great.
good. Good to have you.
Did you have anything to add to that?
No, I came in and my brain's still trying to catch up.
Awesome. Okay, well, then we're going to go to number 6. You set stronger boundaries and are less tolerant of misalignment. Oh, that's me. That's me. You too, Nicole. Some of you don't have to answer or raise your hands. I know that's real. As your self-awareness increases, your self-respect also increases, and you no longer entertain dynamics that diminish your energy.
I see.
I am tired of people sucking the life out of me.
Energy vampires.
Yes.
Yeah. You gotta protect your energy.
You do. It's like you get that phone call and you're like, ah.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
For me,
Yeah.
I'm making progress on that because I catch myself doing that, what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want
Right.
I want to straighten that out. So I'm still a work in progress.
Well, we all are.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't know anyone, even the greatest person out there is still a work in progress. It's just
Absolutely.
some of us hide it better than others, right?
Right.
I mean, I know it seems like over the last year, you guys, I am more aligned and more irritated than I've been in my life.
God damn.
Scary, cold and scary, right?
Oh my
Yeah.
I can understand that because then you go, did I really used to tolerate that?
Right.
What? Who was that person? So yes, I understand.
Yes, and people will treat you any kind of way, whether they know you or not, whether they love you or not. It's like people will say anything in the rudest manner that they possibly can because either they think they're hiding behind a phone,
Yes.
B, because they think they're commenting on something, and what are you going to do about it?
Mm-hmm.
They love to create the chaos. And first of all, I want to say that has not happened on any of our comments. So I do appreciate that. And I do appreciate all the love we're getting. But I'm just talking about when you wake up in the morning and God knows what is on your phone and you just happen to click on it. And then the comments are just horrible. They're just horrible and they're hateful. I have zero tolerance for that.
I agree.
I only have like, well, to be real specific, I have like comedians cooking animals and babies on my social media, and that's it.
What the fuck?
And it makes life
You
a
have
lot
comedians
happier.
cooking babies.
Yeah, I heard that too. I was like, wait a minute.
Yes, yes.
Better put a couple commas in there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, guys, but if you're feeling irritated easily. It's not because you're less loving or less kind. It's just that as you raise to a higher vibrational level, you do happen to notice lower vibrational levels. It's your job to maintain your vibration.
Yes.
Nobody else's job except yours. And I do have to remind myself of that when I'm starting to, I tend to do it on the phone when somebody's being rude. And I would literally have to be like, don't say that. Don't say that. No, don't say that. And you say what you have to say to get through that moment to then hang up. And then what happens after I hang up is just none of their business.
Exactly.
He's like,
Damn.
they get cussed out after I hang up. But all is on the phone with them. I was nice. So, so as we go through that, we're going to hit to number 7. You feel gratitude more deeply and more often than you have before. Somebody share with me.
Well, I was going to let somebody else go first, but
About gratitude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel gratitude more deeply and more often.
You can look at things differently. You can be happier about them instead of upset. You
Yep.
know,
Awesome.
you might see somebody cut you off in a lane, and you could go into a rant, or you could just be, thank goodness I caught that.
Mhm.
It's perception of either way.
You're right,
That's
Kenny.
gratitude.
And you clearly don't live in Atlanta, but that's okay.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Wow.
No, that's
guess-
a good example.
Yeah, definitely. I believe totally that you know, expanding on what you just said, and you know, you can really choose how things affect you, how you things and everything like that. But gratitude, you know,
Mhm.
it means a lot to me now because having gratitude first in any given situation, I mean, it
Yeah.
just opens up so much more to you, so many more opportunities, so many more manifestations, so many, you know, and just like, and when you just kind of take an extra second to think, you know, when something is right about to get to you, you know what I'm saying? Okay, well, maybe we can just, you know what, let's try, like you said, let's try and think about this another way. You know, yeah, you know, this happened, nobody got hurt. We're here, you know, in 5 minutes, nobody's gonna barely even remember it. You know, I mean, it's just, I don't know. You can't let, you know, every little circumstance, you know, completely throw you off your day, completely throw
Right.
you off your vibration. You know what I'm saying? Vibration, and now it's so important because, like you said, we are moving into this new earth, new world, new everything, and when you're tapped in, the longer you're tapped in, it's like you said before, you know, practicing gratitude is just it's just a whole nother part of it in reaching that new alignment, you know, new vibration, everything like that. So yeah, you know, gratitude just means a whole lot more to me now than it did before.
Gratitude shifts from a practice to a state of being. And I don't know about you guys, but I am definitely always in a state of gratitude. I shouldn't say always, but I am. That's kind of like my way. There isn't a day that goes by that I'm not showing or sharing my gratitude with Source and with the trees and with the water and the sky. I love clouds. So with the sky and things like that, I am so seriously grateful for being healthy, for just being here, for having this opportunity to talk to you today and to be with my peers, you know, spreading the message of the rising new earth, spreading the message of love and hope and comfort. So gratitude can literally change my my energy, my vibration, my feeling for that moment into something of a oneness. It just brings me closer to everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Gratitude can do a lot of things. I mean, if you're grateful and thankful for things and you stay on that vibrational level of that, it can change your DNA. It can change who you are. And so it's, becomes a lifestyle choice. And so, like we were talking about earlier, certain things won't affect you, as much because you know that you are grateful and you show that. I know that I'm grateful, and I say it every day, that I'm grateful because I see things that are going on in this world and in this country, and I'm definitely grateful every day, and send love, light to those who may not understand that they are also should be grateful. Send that out to them because there are others that are, less fortunate a lot.
Are we done? We done?
Absolutely.
And the last one that I'm going to talk about for this podcast, because I do try to keep these for an hour, is that anxiety that people are feeling right now for absolutely no reason.
Mm-hmm.
That anxiety has a lot to do with raising to a different level of vibration, with taking in new energetic pulses, with the separation being pulled literally from one part to another. So has anyone in our group like genuinely felt that anxiety that is now coming with that anxiety that's coming with the separation of the two worlds?
I do.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I'm feeling anxiety. I think I may feel the energy from other people a lot of times, because they're just so caught up in the negative cycle that's always on a continuous loop. And so, I know why this is happening. At least I think I know why this is happening. Because of,
I keep
what's
losing audio or my speaker.
because what's happening in this world, and so what's about to happen, the change that's going on, those type of things need to show their face, and so it is giving people all types of anxiety. And so, sometimes I can sit there and chat with them, but I always make sure that I bring it back full circle, whenever I'm having that conversation, because I refuse to go down that rabbit hole. Because I know better.
Right. Absolutely.
Good point.
Well, you know what, guys? We are at the end of this podcast. We will have a part 2 of it. I appreciate you joining us, and just know that if you are feeling any of these signs, that it's a good thing. It means you are rising with us to a new world, a new earth, and a new life. One full of peace, one full of hope, with none of the negative obstacles that we face here on this earth. And we appreciate you, and we love you, and we will see you soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.